皆さんどうも、ごきげんよう、クレディディです。本日も、お一人工学部、復唱する編ということで、英単語の方をやっていきたいと思います。続きがユニットから1時間ほどやっていきます。Unit 9 Matrimony. Deoda joined the matrimony last week. Subservient. In ancient Greek society, women were expected to be subservient to their husbands. Interlude. She left the office for a brief interlude, during which she got a coffee. Decorum. She always behaved with decorum and modesty. Rescind. The company rescinded the job offer after discovering its dishonesty. Ruse. The promise of a free gift card with a ruse to collect personal information. Undermine. The casual attitude of a few employees was undermining the manager's authority. Scarcity. The scarcity of gold and silver has study made them very valuable. Profound. The book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius was filled with profound insights. Deploy. The government was forced to deploy more troops to the area. Denounce. The politician has been criticized for not denouncing the use of violence. Slash. The president's plan to slash taxes was very popular with the people. Liaison. We can improve liaison between parents and teachers with an email newsletter. Rigorous. To be the best, Olympic athletes must maintain a rigorous training program. Mitigate. Taking motion sickness pills can mitigate some negative side effects of this drug. Imperative. It is imperative that they get to the airport in time for their flight. Depict. The writer has an unusual talent for depicting vivid scenes in snowballs. Amass. They amassed enough evidence to support the idea. Dissent. She voiced a dissent on the decision to downsize the company. Replenish. It is important to replenish the fluids you lose from sweating. Tangible. The most obvious tangible benefit will be increased revenue for the company. Splurge. We decided to splurge on a new suit to the event. Savvy. Her savvy business skills helped her to quickly rise through the company. Acclaim. Although the film received critical acclaim, it was not very popular overall. Gadget. The store offers a variety of kitchen gadgets and cookware. Postulate. Some scientists have postulated that life may exist on other planets without oxygen or water. Manifest. The importance of stories is manifest in the popularity of books and films. Affinity. She and the cat had a military affinity for one another, so she adopted. Revert. On days when he is tired, he reverses his old eating habits. Verified. The politician was verified in the newspapers for stealing public tax money. Incapacitate. She was incapacitated for the first few days following her stroke. Calamity. The flood was a serious calamity for local farmers. Mortality. As the country becomes more developed, its infant mortality rate drops. Onslaught. The area continues to face the onslaught of rough weather. Revelation. Most people cannot predict the shocking revelation at the end of the film. Roar. The rocking of the train rolled her to sleep. Surmise. Based on the symptoms, we can surmise that illness is a viral infection. Harness. New technologies are being developed to harness wind, tidal energy, and ocean currents. Solicit. Volunteers for the organization go door to door trying to solicit donation. Dispatch. Dispatch. More troops were dispatched to the front lines this week. Multitude. Multitude. Our education system faces a multitude of problems. Supplant. Supplant. Conventional lamps are being supplanted by LED lighting. Imminent. The sun was imminent with dark clouds gathered on the horizon. Wrangle. Wrangle. The two sides have been wrangling over the terms of the contract for days. Scour. Scour. She scoured the library for books mentioning the obscure topic. Threshold. Threshold. The scientists claim that they are on the threshold of major breakthrough. Dividend. Dividend. The company pays out dividends quarterly. Pundit. Pundit. He is a former professional soccer player and a sports TV pundit. Incubate. He incubated the egg under a heat lamp for a few weeks. Attrition. Attrition. The company cut about 200 employees through attrition and layoffs. Incense. The announcement of the fees incense the airline's passengers. Announcement of the poach. People try to poach the rhinos so that they can sell their horns. Intercept. War broke out after secret radar was intercepted by the foreign spy. Deceased. The deceased man's family and friends attend the event in his honor. Drador. His friend took a picture of him riding his new motorcycle. Corroded. The acidic water gradually corroded the pipes until they started leaking. Nurture. She carefully nurtured the young plant by providing them with water and sunlight. Connotation. This word has a slightly negative connotation. Anecdotal. A common tactic when giving speeches is started with an anecdotal story. Smother. He often felt smothered by his mother's relentless affection. Tilt. The dog tilted his head to the side when it heard a voice through the phone. Embroiled. The mayor was embroiled in a scandal involving misuse of public funds. Exponent. The writer Mary Wollstonecraft was an exponent of feminist literature. Impeach. The politician was impeached for his corrupt conduct. Residual. A few days later, he was still experiencing the residual effects of the surgery. Boom. The new program for part-time workers is a boon for working mothers. Retract. The CEO was forced to retract his statement regarding selling the company. Insurrection. In the capital city, there is an insurrection going on against the government. Dispassionate. He believes that an effective business leader should remain dispassionate. Wanton. Starting him activities leads to the wanton destruction of the environment. Fray. Both parties enter the election fray. Defame. Famous people are often defamed by the media. Veto. The president may choose to exercise his veto to stop the bill. Buoyant. Real estate prices are rising rapidly in this buoyant economy. Invert. My brain inverts the upside-down image that hits the retinas. Invigorate. Taking a cold shower is a quick way to invigorate yourself. Tyranny. They fought to liberate their country from tyranny. Stitch. She had to stitch up the wound using the first aid kit in her backpack. Nimble. The nimble dancer floated gracefully across the stage. Frustrate. It was discovered that the agency had been infiltrated by spies. Prosecute. Religious minorities have been persecuted many times throughout history. Colloquial. There are major differences between colloquial Japanese and the formal written language. Trajectory. The missile's trajectory was changed to avoid hitting a populated area. Burn. She spun his advances and made it clear she was not looking for a romantic relationship. Append. She abandoned her purse and adopted everything out when looking for the keys. Conscientious. He is conscientious about his health and exercises daily. Onerous. We still have the onerous task of cleaning up. Tycoon. Onerous. The media tycoon owns several famous TV stations, magazines, and newspapers. Precept. Showing respect to the parents and elders is one of the main precepts of Confucianism. Moderate. She is great at modulating her voice to change the feeling of a song. Unwilling. He was an unwilling contributor to the spread of false rumors. Espouse. The new theory is already being espoused by many respected scientists. Inept. He is inept at communicating with others. Ostensible. His ostensible reason for buying the computer was for work, not video games. Haphazardly. Books and papers were scattered haphazardly on the professor's desk. Opaque. They used a fake type of glass for the bathroom windows. Vacant. When she started blogging, she uncovered a latent talent for writing. Extradite. He fled the country that done the extradited criminals to the US. He fled the country. Country's law is regarded by many as a violation of human rights. Configuration. Seating configurations vary by aircraft and airline. Velocity. The police are working to confirm the veracity of the witness's testimony. Odious. The man was sentenced to life in prison for odious crime. Languid. The medication makes her languid, so she has been sleeping a lot. Mangled. Although his legs were mangled in the accident, he was able to walk again. Extrapolate. We can extrapolate the lifetime value of a customer from this data. Purse. Based on his test response, it was clear that he did not want to be disturbed. Distend. A starving person's stomach may distend due to a lack of protein. Cough. People scoffed at his idea for the invention, but he built it anyway. Felony such as kidnapping or fraud has more serious prison sentences. Bucolic. The bucolic cottage was featured in a magazine about the life in the countryside. Truncate. Those interviews are published in truncated form. Cordially. You are cordially invited to our annual cancer fundraiser on June 5th. Amity. The two countries signed the Treaty of Amity and Commerce. Truculent. He is always truculent and often gets into a quarrel with someone. Luminous. The words luminous red eyes are visible in the dark background of drawing. Ruffled. The woman was obviously ruffled by the reporter's difficult questions. Incongruous. The new building appeared incongruous with surrounding environment. Bellow. He bellowed across the room so she could hear him. Decree. The local government decreed that smoking be banned in public places. Remuneration. He has not received remuneration for his work yet. Course. This class is very hard and coarse. Dissertation. She completed this dissertation on environmental issues. Conveyance. The transportation company specializes in the conveyance of hazardous materials. Periphery. A temporary fence was erected up, preferring the property. Extraneous. If we eliminate these extraneous steps, we can complete the process much faster. Enchant. Her charisma enchanted a lot of people. Infantile. She told him that his infantile behavior is not appropriate for a grown man. Acclimate. It took a couple of days to acclimate to the high altitude of Cusco. Abstinence. A campaign aims to promote abstinence from alcohol during pregnancy. Reverie. The siren startled her out of reverie. Tether. She tethered her horse to a pole. Gratified. I was gratified to hear that he agreed with me. Pompous. His pompous remarks make it clear that he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. Scruffy. The scruffy dog looked completely different after it got cleaned up. Censure. The country feels international censure for its human rights violation. French. She flinched at the sound of the door slamming. Duplicity. He was a good liar, and I was not able to recognize his duplicity. Apparition. The child claimed that a ghost apparition appeared outside of his window. Spillage. She put the container in a plastic bag in case of spillage. Stampede. Herds of buffaloes stampeding across the plains. Clemency. They start a campaign for clemency in that case. Child. The teacher chided students for their lack of effort. Trudge. She trudged through the snow, wishing that she was wearing waterproof boots. Edify. The book edifies readers with its unique presentation of Buddhist concepts. Sorted. The sorted affair was kept secret for a long time. Alacrity. He accepted our offer with alacrity. Ludicrous. He made a ludicrous suggestion during the meal and everyone laughed. Vehement. She spoke with vehement passion about the need for cheaper healthcare services. Annulment. The team announced the annulment of its contract with the foreign player. Docile. The horse looks very docile. Bombastic. The candidate delivered bombastic speech about how he would fix the economy. Erudite. Isaac Newton is considered one of the most erudite scholars in the history of science. Pernicious. They are blaming a TV program saying he's a financial influence on children. Ferocity. She appeared to be in a state of complete ferocity. Scrounge. He often scrounges money from his parents and friends. Laborious. Translating an entire book is a laborious task that requires attention to detail and patience. Incinerate. The island's nation incinerates about 80% of its solid waste. Twitch. His lips were twitching as suppressed a laugh. Strident. The suddenly strident tone of her voice startled him. Inclination. Her initial inclination was to say no, but in the end she agreed to it. Craver. The superhero clobbered the villain in the final battle of the movie. Perturbed. He was perturbed by his unfamiliar surroundings. Billow. The curtains billowed in the breeze. Reticent. He is reticent about discussing his past, but no one knows why. Extrinsic. Many ended phrase are examples of extrinsic motivation. Encumbered. The criminal was encumbered by all of their peers. Restitution. He was ordered to pay restitution for the damages caused by the fire. Impaired. He felt empowered to express his own opinion. Rancor. It still rankles me that they made fun of me. Absurdity. Absurdity. We cannot help laughing at the absurdity of the situation. Onrush. The onrush of technology has brought about many changes in society. Cogitate. We may need to cogitate further on this matter. No. The power outage was caused by a rat. Hello. It was weird. Ingenious. The inventor's ingenious idea earned him a fortune. Deity. The plant was named after ancient Greek deity. Exceed. The board refused to exceed the union's demand. Entwine. A young couple were walking on the street with their arms entwined. Lubricate. She lubricates a motorcycle chain every 3 months. Paucity. The country has suffered from paucity of natural resources. Virulent. The virulent disease spread rapidly across the country. Debonair. She was approached by a debonair gentleman in a fancy suit. Deprecate. She deprecates the government's attitude toward unemployment. Incriminate. You are never required to answer any question that could incriminate yourself. Pear. He pared an apple for me. Sullen. She looked sullen during the party. Delirious. She was delirious, and nothing she said made sense. Schism. This event caused a schism in the local community. Rendezvous. She and the journalist planned a secret rendezvous to discuss the issue. Hibernate. We will soon start to get ready to hibernate. Egregious. It is surprising that a book with so many egregious errors was published. Equilibrium. The government policy has caused supply and demand to be out of equilibrium. Prodigious. The beautiful landscaping painting was a prodigious achievement for Sylvia Orchard. Fabio. This guy had an orange tinge to it. Drool. The baby's shirt was bad because he had drooled so much. Dainty. The cafe serves assortment dainty sandwiches on beautiful trays. Heist. He was charged with a heist of $3 million in cash. Facet. Our website explains every facet of Japanese life. Annoying. It was anointed as the best Indian restaurant in town. Malevolent. In the story of Sleeping Beauty, the malevolent witch cast a spell on the princess. Prowl. The cat was prowling around in search of mice. Beguile. They were beguiled into investing their savings into the risky business. Dissonance. There is often dissonance between how a person perceives herself and how others perceive her. Incumbent. The incumbent champion will defend his title in tomorrow's boxing match. Maim. The soldier was maimed in the explosion, but at least he survived. Remnant. Millions of tourists came to see the remnants of ancient Rome. Topple. Experts say that the tower toppled because its base was not built properly. Impertinent. He asked her age, her weight, and other impertinent questions. Aberration. Using such words is aberration for him. Chuckle. The audience chuckled at the lecturer's joke. Presumptuous. It'd be presumptuous of me to tell her she should raise her kids. Chastened. He was chastened by the criticism for his boys regarding his performance. Percolate. The idea began to percolate in his mind as he continuously considered the problem. Jiggle. I heard the door now jiggle as someone tried to open the door. Trepidation. Investors are watching the market with great trepidation, capricious. Due to his mother's capricious moods, he never knows how she will react. Crumpled. She crumpled up the paper and threw in the trash. Epiphany. He was in the shower when he heard an epiphany about how to end his novel. Elated. They were elated at the birth of their first child. Nominally. The CEO is not merely in charge, but the COO is a real leader of the company. Abrasive. My uncle often offends people with his abrasive manner. Gratitude. His speech was full of platitudes, and they are nothing to listen to. Aspiration. The counselor spoke with the student about his hopes and aspiration for the future. Abhorrent. Any forms of discrimination are abhorrent to us all. Auxiliary. The hospital is now recruiting auxiliary staff. Nibble. She nibbled on a piece of bread as she walked. Penitent. He claimed to be penitent for his mistakes and promised to do better. Embittered. The death of Ezra's child greatly embittered them. Bungled. The police bungled the investigation of the crime. Hobbled. The injured player hobbled off the field with the help of his teammates. Satirize. The player satirized three of the most corrupt politicians of the time. Spree. Her grandmother took on a shopping spree for her birthday. Improvise. His presentation materials did not blow, so he had to improvise. Arc. The state council decision arced many people. Jeered. The crowd jeered at the player who injured the star quarterback. Flippant. The audience was offended by his flippant remark. Predilection. She admitted having a predilection for a romance novel. Enigmatic. She approached me with an enigmatic smile. Allegory. This story can be read as a religious allegory. Trickle. Blood trickled down his face as a result of the injury to his head. Inanimate. The octopus can disguise himself as inanimate objects. Unit 11. Adjudicate. An independent body adjudicated a dispute between the supermarket and the suppliers. Connive. They connived with some officials to steal public money. Condescending. Some doctors had a condescending attitude toward their patients. Dunk. The inside of the cave was dark and dank. Cursory. A cursory exam of his arm did not reveal any serious injuries. Freeze. She did not seem to be freeze at all. Suave. The actor is famed for his suave manner. Conducive. A noisy apartment is not conducive to concentration. Obfuscate. His explanation only obscure. Sanctity. The chapter thoroughly discusses sanctity of life. Elocution. She decided to take elocution lessons to lose her Scottish accent. Amenable. The company was amenable to negotiating high salary for her. Creed. We cannot support his policy because it goes against the creed. Cranky. She was a little tired and cranky. Disposition. She has an optimistic disposition even in the most difficult of situations. Enliven. The residents discussed how to enliven the area. Insolent. She suddenly turned into insolent teenagers who refused to listen to her parents. Ambient. The ambient temperature should not exceed 20 degrees. Lunge. The two football players both lunge for the dropped ball. Leg. She She lost the scholarship, and it was discovered that the contest had been rigged. Partisan. Susan B. Anthony was an early partisan of women's voting rights. Rupture. The rupture in the pipe caused a great deal of oil to leak into the ocean. Shimmer. The first of the water shimmered in the red after starlight. Loiter. A security guard told the teenager to stop loitering in the parking lot. Magnanimous. The team's captain was magnanimous in defeat and complimented the winning team. Scrumptious. He gained the weight from all the scrumptious cake his mother kept making for him. Scant. The scant amount of evidence makes it unlikely that the crime will be solved. Putrid. She called the plumber to inspect the putrid smell coming from the kitchen sink. Mother. I thought mother by all the loud noises. Eclectic. The festival features an eclectic mix of music genres from hip-hop to jazz. Jovial. His jovial personality makes him very popular at parties. Crawford. His lawyer proffered several pieces of evidence to support his innocence. Cogent. The student's cogent argument earned her high grade on essay. Real. She is still reeling from the news that he has been lying to her all this year. Scorn. The new policy has been widely scorned by environmental scientists. Bereft. The young man's bereft mother did not leave her house for days after the accident. Brave. The blurb on the back of the book makes it sound like exciting read. Jocular. His jocular tone was inappropriate for the serious situation. Saunter. She sauntered through the gardens, enjoying the beautiful landscaping. Binge. He went on a binge fancy novel, and he was reading them non-stop for months. Lampoon. The weekly comic in the newspaper frequently lampooned political figures. Twinge. She felt a twinge of guilt when she told sister she was getting married. Vexing. The vexing challenge for fighting this disease continues to be a problem. Tabulate. The data analyst tabulated the survey results and put them into a chart. Parched. This plant grows even in the parched ground. Delectable. The famous French bakery serves delectable cookies and pastries. Grody. Despite its glowing appearance, the smallest horse is undefeated. Myriad. Our series are the myriad of dining options that suit all kinds of taste. Soar. Profit soared when the company video went viral on social media. Backlash. The government faced backlash against the proposed tax hike. Articulate. A public speaking coach strives to become a more articulate speaker. Paramount. The safety of all passengers is of paramount importance. Surge. The new segment caused a surge of new orders for the product. Plot. The substance helps blood clot. Flourish. The business flourished once they started marketing more aggressively. Ignite. The dry branches quickly ignite when she have the mud under them. Intimidate. The government has said that it will not be intimidated by terrorists. Intricate. The Alhambra in Granada, Spain is not for English carving, it's a unique design. Perpetuate. The war perpetuates the poverty in the country. Discard. If you do not use the provided extra screws, you can discard them. Slaughter. The Maasai tribe hold a celebration called El Noto, in which they slaughter a goat. Provoke. His remarks provoked a strong reaction from other members. Repressing the painful memories of her childhood led to psychological problems later in life. Encompass. The school's district encompasses all of the city's neighborhoods east of Park Avenue. Ensued. When the news was released to the public, chaos ensued. Array. A vast array of products can be bought on this one website. Galvanized. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech galvanized the public to support the civil rights movement. Revered. The Gandhis revered a hero for leading India to independence. Deteriorate. His condition deteriorated after the cancer treatment. Intact. Ruin of Pompeii, that remarkably intact considering the age. Interest. While he was away, the president entrusted the management of the company to his assistant. Dumfrey. In his advertising, the drug company treated Dumfrey's medicine side effects. Subsidize. The government subsidizes farmers to make sure that they keep growing food. Prone. Those cars are prone to get stuck in the snow. Surveillance. The entrance to the bank is under constant video camera surveillance. Ascribe. Many ascribe the success of the project to its unusual name. Pinpoint. Doctors have struggled to pinpoint the cause of the patient's symptoms. Decimate. In this area, wild animals were decimated by housing development. Surcharge. The airline charges a surcharge for checked bag. Crippled. The plan was crippled by lack of funds. The plan. Discrepancy. There is a discrepancy between the costs reported and the actual expenses. Pretext. He used a business meeting as pretext for visiting his friends in New York. Outlay. They are projecting initial outlay of $1 million for the product's development. Menace. The pack of stray dogs is a menace to the neighborhood. Crunch. He is very good at crunching numbers, so he was put on the budget team. Compliance. The paper certifies that the factory is in compliance with all safety regulations. Diversify. Some countries are starting to take steps to diversify energy sources. Expulsion of minorities is taking place in that country. Intrigue. Our idea for a fast food Indian restaurant intrigued the investor. Shortcoming. Our biggest shortcoming is the inability to work on pressure. Endowed. The boy is endowed with impressively high intelligence. Endowed. The hotel's amenities include a swimming pool, a spa, and a fitness center. Break. Unemployment is high, and the job market makes break for new graduates. Futile. His attempt to fix the car proved futile, so he took it down to a repair shop. Guys. The government introduced a new restriction under the guise of national security. Condemnation. The company's excessive pollution has drawn condemnation from environmental organizations. Layman. In layman's terms, the treatment helps your body fight off the virus. Ambiguity. The ambiguity of the new law has caused confusion among legal experts. Prolonged. The prolonged war left the region in ruins. Insidious. They called attention to the insidious problems. Exterminate. I will exterminate the cockroaches in my house. Upstart. The Upstart internet company was founded by 3 college roommates. Mentor. Her mentor was very proud when she won the award. Drenched. She had to walk home without umbrella and she got drenched. Decor. The decor of the restaurant makes you feel like you're in Thailand. Swap. He swapped phone numbers and email addresses. Frank. Oh. Half of the students flunked their math test. Sinister. The story is about a villain's sinister plot to overthrow the government. Backdrop. The city of Paris is a perfect backdrop for this love story. Implicate. Research revealed this gene is implicated in the development of disease. Pragmatic. We have adopted a pragmatic approach to solving problems. Emphasize. It is important to emphasize with and understand others. Slump. Sales slumped by over 30% last year. Posture. Bad posture can lead to back problems when you get older. Lag. Supply has lagged behind demand. Lenient. She is a lenient teacher, so she often lets students turn assignments late. Deflect. He deflected the question twice, then politely refused to answer it. Protagonist. The protagonist of the story is young boy. Elastic. The wrist is elastic, so you can wear these pants up without belt. Amplify. This latest partnership amplified the company's influence abroad. Rate 12. Circumstantial. The evidence against him is only circumstantial, so he's unlikely to be found guilty. Breach. He breached his contract, which resulted in him being fired. Linger. She lingered in a seat for a few minutes after the movie was over. Speculation. There has been much speculation about the possible existence of alien life. Oh dear. The illness was a difficult ordeal for her to go through. Embody. The product embodies the principles of simplicity and functionality in its design. Win. She got a tattoo on the wing and she has regretted it ever since. Muffled. They muffled the noise of the toy by putting tape over the speaker. Agitation. Genetic swimmer and exaggeration of Miran's fans. Disavow. He disavowed his responsibility for the accident. Poised. Based on an impressive resume, he seems poised to take on a leadership role. Expediency. The company opted for expediency and simply released a fraud product. Homogeneous. Compared to the United States, Japan is a more homogeneous society. Hubris. The consequences of all this is hubris, serve as a warning of dangers of excessive pride. Grass. Above scabbage, we will polish your vehicle to high grass. Gravel. The sovereign grovel for forgiveness before the king. Layover. They had a layover in Seattle in the way to Tokyo. Fling. He flung a heavy net over the side of the boat. Win. She started to bring her baby off of milk after he turned 7 months old. Shove. He shoved the ticket into his pants pocket. Limp. His legs suddenly went limp and he could not stand on his own. Sloth has been criticized since ancient times as society needs everyone to contribute. Interminable. She needed to use the restroom, so the way to get off the plane seems interminable. Loophole. The law requires a loophole that withholding companies avoid paying taxes. Induct. She was inducted as an honorary member of the association in 2013. Synthesize. The doctor's unique method of acupuncture sympathizes with modern and traditional medical treatment. Din. It was hard to hear each other's voices over the loud din of the restaurant. Bureaucrat. She was tired of dealing with bureaucrats and their endless paperwork. Pacify. They tried in vain to pacify the angry crowd. Pounce. The guard slowly approached and then pounced on the toy Maris. That is a horrible crime committed out of a pure malice. Bluntly. To put it bluntly, that is an illegal activity. Squash. Squash. Her husband squashed the bag with his shoe. Mishap. Mishap. The many mishaps of the trip were stressful, but they became great stories. Sparse. Sparse. He painted a sparse landscape with only bushes dotting the ground. Fabricate. Fabricate. It was later revealed that the journalist had fabricated the entire story. Patronage. Patronage. We would like to thank our donors for the patronage of a small museum. Recalcitrant. The teachers found it difficult to handle the recalcitrant students. Sabotage. Sabotage. The Rehov engineer is accused of sabotaging various computer systems within the company. Contemplate. The philosopher spent his life contemplating the meaning of free will. Abstract. Abstract. A fallen tree was obstructing the road, which caused a traffic jam. Shoddy. 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 Consumers have right to be compensated for shoddy goods. Leeway. Leeway. The new policy gives managers more leeway in deciding which employees to promote. Leverage. Leverage. The player's great performance gave him a lot of leverage when negotiating a new contract. Wine. Wine. The mother told her son to stop worrying about how bored he was. Repository. Repository. The remote underground location is used as a repository for nuclear waste. Impoverish. Impoverish. The recession has impoverished many families who are now relying on government support. Outcast. Outcast. Instead of finding acceptance in a new community, she was treated as outcast. Transcend. Transcend. The concept of eternity transcends the limits of understanding. A phrase. Dozens of years has effaced the letters on the coin. Vicarious. She gets the vicarious thrill from reading the exciting books. Paragon. Paragon. Country has been considered to be paragon of welfare state. Paternity. 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 He refused to admit paternity or pay child support. Purported. Purported. The purported value of the company turned out to be wrong when they tried to sell it. Impetus. Impetus. The increase in homelessness was impetus for the new policy. Pledge. Pledge. The company has pledged to match all donations made to the organization this week. Lineage. The family's lineage can be traced all the way back to the 6th century. Denomination. Denomination. He asked to receive the money in smaller denominations. Crest. Crest. The church stands on the crest of the hill. Constraint. We were constrained by the very small budget for advertising. Figuratively. Figuratively. She was speaking figuratively when she said her workplace as a zoo. Semblance. The series returning semblance of normal life. Indelible. His work left an indelible mark on the history of music. Mystique. The cafe has a certain mystique, attracting people from all over the world. Clumsy. Clumsy. My clumsy sister spilled milk all over my homework. Bountiful. Bountiful. We enjoyed the bountiful harvest of rice last year. Sanctuary. This wildlife sanctuary is inhabited by a wide range of birds and animals. Germinate. After you plant a seed, it will usually take a week or two to germinate. Precipitous. The precipitous slope on one side of the trail makes climbing terrifying. Blurt. He almost ran out the hill car. Tumble. I lost my balance and tumbled forward. Outage. The heavy rain caused the power outages which affected thousands of people. Strut. Strut. The model is stretched down the runway in the latest fashion. Blatantly. Blatantly. Decades after releasing the novel, he was greatly recognized for its brilliance. Eroded. Eroded. His monthly medical bills quickly eroded his savings. Incarnation. Incarnation. The statue was meant to be the incarnation of the motherly love. Burger. 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 His joke was so vulgar that no one laughed. Arrogance. Arrogance. He used to be known with arrogance, but he's more humble now that he's older. Hitch. Despite the concerns, the conference went off without a hitch. Tantalizing. Tantalizing aroma of freshly baked bread attracts a lot of customers to the bakery. Eavesdrop. He cannot help but eavesdrop on the couple arguing the table next to his. Gimmick. The claim that the product is hormone-free is just a marketing gimmick. You mean? As comments like that demeans the accomplishment of scientific researchers. Shrewd. Sherlock Holmes is an amazingly shrewd observer of fine details. Agonize. He agonized about poor choice of the rest of his life. Anonymity. He relies on the fake name to preserve anonymity. Federal. A critical article of school system says that it infers creativity. Lackluster. Despite high expectations, he delivered a lackluster performance in the championship match. Implicit. The writer and its editor do not have a formal contract, but does an implicit agreement. Buffer. A large cash savings serves as a buffer against times of potential hardship. Demeanor. Despite his cold and distant demeanor, he is a very kind person at heart. Cajole. She cajoled her brother into going on a date with a coworker. Disgruntled. The manager was able to professionally deal with a disgruntled customer, his urbane wit and charm make him popular among company clients. Embracing. The team's logo is emblazoned on the front of the players' jerseys. Equivocate. The Prime Minister equivocated when questioned on that subject. Engulf. Within only a few minutes, the flame had engulfed the entire building. Exponential. On average, one new user invited two more, making the growth of the social network exponential. Sneer. He set out several sneers, but did not catch any rabbits. Guzzle. He used to guzzle coffee every morning, but now he doesn't drink caffeine at all. Translucent. The translucent body of the jellyfish makes it difficult to spot. Jaded. After decades in the same job, he had become jaded with his daily routine. Obsequious. The salesperson who was already felt uncomfortable. Tedium. The tedium of data entry makes it an unpopular job in general. Impound. The police arrested him for driving without a license and impounded his car. Genial. She is a genial host and everyone enjoys attending her dinner parties. Emboldened. He was emboldened by the positive feedback he received from his teacher. Efficacious. The medication was efficacious, with all of the patient's symptoms disappearing. Gaunt. She looked gaunt after losing so much weight. Conceit. His conceit makes him a difficult player to coach. Effigy. The effigies of the dictator respond into protest. Throb. His finger throbbed with the pain after smashing the door. Progeny. Over 10% of the American population is the progeny of German immigrants. Grind. The 2-week trip will be from daily grind. Deface. The graffiti artist was arrested for defacing public property. Dissemble. She dissembled about the true reason for leaving a previous company. Append. She appended the latest data to the report on sales growth. Consummate. The founders brought in a consummate professional to act as CEO. Fervor. He also spoke with fervor about the importance of reading books. Enamored. She was immediately enamored with Bren and about to live permanently. ここまでかな。OK。よし。13。ということで、以上ということでありがとうございました。3ビュースということで、本日は以上ということでありがとうございました。ではまた、バイバイバイバイ。あえて言いますごきげんよう。それでは、バイチャ。